I'm not the kind of person who shares personal stories, but this one still haunts me. It's been over 2 years, and I still check who's sitting next to me whenever I board a bus. It happened in November. I was heading back to Chicago after visiting my parents for the weekend. My car was in the shop, so I had to take an intercity bus. I hate public transportation, but it was a direct route, only about 4 hours, and the ticket was dirt cheap. I never thought a ride on Greyhound could turn into the most disturbing night of my life. The bus station was exactly what you'd expect. Sticky plastic chairs, the smell of burnt coffee and old sandwiches, and the kind of people you try not to make eye contact with. I arrived early. I just wanted a window seat and no conversation. When the driver finally opened the doors, I got on first and sat down halfway back, window seat on the right. After a few minutes, people started to board, some with headphones, some with kids. All normal. Then she walked in. She wasn't striking or anything, but somehow impossible to miss. Puffy hooded jacket, dark jeans, worn sneakers, her face, ordinary, but stretched tight, like someone not just tired from work, but from something much deeper. She walked slowly like she was counting each step, and then she stopped next to me. "Is this seat taken?" No, I said, and she sat down. No smile, no expression. Just lowered herself into the seat and stared straight ahead. We'd been driving for maybe 20 minutes when I first noticed it. Something was off. She hadn't moved once, didn't check her phone, didn't look out the window, just sat there, hands resting neatly on her knees, like she was waiting for something. At the Rockford stop, almost everyone got out to stretch or smoke. I stood up and asked, "Are you getting out?" She slowly turned her head toward me and said, "I have nowhere to go." I had no idea what to say. I just stepped into the aisle and left. When I came back, she hadn't moved an inch. Outside, the glass had fogged slightly, and I could see the imprint of her breath. Not from her face exactly, but lower down. Like she was breathing from somewhere deep in her chest. I know it sounds strange, but that's what it looked like. By the 3rd hour, I was on edge. She'd started whispering to herself. Not words I could make out, just the sound of them, like reciting something, a list, a prayer, a ritual. I'd glance over every now and then. She was always perfectly still, and her eyes were locked in place. Even when the bus turned, even when it bumped over rough pavement, she never blinked, never looked away. They were half closed, like she was focusing on something invisible in front of her. With about an hour left to Chicago, I stood up. I needed to pee, or at least step away from that seat. She didn't move, didn't acknowledge me. I walked to the back of the bus. Only then did I notice how badly my hands were shaking. I locked myself in the tiny bathroom and leaned against the door. Took a deep breath. I felt genuinely afraid. When I came back, she was gone. My seat was empty. I looked around the cabin. She wasn't in any other row. I thought maybe she'd gotten off during one of the unscheduled stops, or switched seats. But her bag was still there, old Jim duffel. I recognized it right away. About 20 minutes later, we were entering the city. It was almost dark. I stared out the window, trying to calm myself down. Then, I caught a reflection in the glass, her face. She was sitting across the aisle now, staring directly at me, expressionless, eyes wide, unblinking. She wasn't smiling, just watching, like she was waiting for me to say something. I turned quickly, and yes, she was really there, only her eyes were completely black, or maybe it was the lighting. Maybe she had those blackout contacts. I don't know, but I couldn't stay in that seat another second. When the bus finally stopped, I was off before anyone else. I practically ran inside the terminal without looking back. That night, I stood under the shower for what felt like forever. Didn't tell anyone, not then. I haven't taken a bus since. I never will. I moved to a new city, got a new phone number, but sometimes, when I'm in an elevator, or standing in line somewhere, I feel someone watching me. I don't turn around, because deep down, I'm afraid that if I do, I'll see her. The woman who had nowhere to go, who wasn't waiting for a ride. She was waiting for a seatmate by the window. If you made it all the way to the end, then you're exactly the kind of person I'm looking for. Hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. I hope I can keep bringing you more stories, to make you smile, or maybe, to scare you.